Hello, let's see if it works. Let me post a few places. That's how you do it. Gonna do some interesting stuff today. Let me just write here on Discord. Hello, everyone. Live right now, working on multiplayer. And I'm actually gonna explain a few things today, what I've been through over the past week, because it's been quite a challenge. Maybe I should open some of these. Let's see. Okay, it works. Okay, where's the chat? The chat is not working. As always in the beginning. Gonako, Mega Monkey. Let's let people join here while I open up. Yeah, let me show you the mod samples too and the mod tools. Okay. Just briefly gonna show something and then we're gonna try and fix something. But while people are joining here, sorry, I'm a little sorry. You have to live with that today. Okay, hello everybody. So I'm just start talking here, so it will be interesting. Okay, so as you all know, I'm working on turning my single player fireworks game into a multiplayer game, and just started out like February or something like that. Not on the game. The game has been released for over 2 years, but I started on the multiplayer like a month and a half ago. Okay, so the way I approached this was to try and get some simple stuff up and running first, be able to run around, and you know, just looking at each other, join the same server, some basic stuff like that works fine. So kind of make the player work. And the next step was to make some of the tools I have in game, make them multiplayer like, because you have to have something that needs to happen on clients and something that needs to happen on the host. So I'm working on making more of the tools like multiplayer enabled. So that's also going fine. Not all tools are working, and still a lot of there's tons of bugs. And as I also have shown in some of the videos, I have some propanes working and some you can spawn some boxes and stuff like that, and that has been working fine, plus a lot of other challenges. But then 2 weeks ago I was working on fireworks, and the problem was that because the game also supports mods, I have, and maybe I can do a little drawing. I haven't drawn, I've just prepared this. I really like it when it's dark, but I don't think this have dark mode. And I couldn't find any better drawing application. So we have to live with this for now. I don't even know how we can zoom in here. Anyway, so let's say previously the game, the way the game works. So this is fireworks, MANIA. Yeah, so that's the game. And previously, this is kind of all the source and all the entire game, except for a core part of it, which was, okay, I'm drawing with the mouse here. So I had the main game made in Unity and C# and everything, and then I had an external assembly. An external assembly called core. You wouldn't do that normally because you would just keep everything in the game, but I decided to do it this way because I needed to support mods, because this core here is part of the mod tools. I'm just explaining now. There will be some, though, if you are a mod creator like Gonako and others, don't take this as a guide. I'm just explaining what's just been going on. I'm not I'm not done and I can run into other problems, but just to explain what I've just been through here and why I did it. So we have this mod tool, which modders of course use together with Unity to build mods that can then go into, Fireworks Mania at runtime, yada yada yada. That's all fine. This is how it's been working all along, since mod support at least. So the core parts is something like, cake behavior, rocket behavior, some basic stuff to build fireworks via the mod tools. And this has been working fine. One of the benefits of this is that this is an assembly, as it says here. So it's a DLL file that is just basically put into the mod creators part of Unity, that is then loaded up, and then the mod creator have access to these core components and stuff like that. And one of the beauty of that is that it's a DLL, as I said, so it's a compiled one file. That means I don't have to share my code, this core code, and it's also easier for modders because it's just one file, so it's easier to kind of keep under control. Anyway, so when I was working on multiplayer, I had stuff working over here in Fireworks Mania, like all the stuff I was doing, some of it was also going on in the core, but at some point I got to a place where I needed to do some server RPCs in the core, and it's very technical, sorry, but my streams are like that because this is what is needed to make this work. So at some point I needed to do some server RPCs. I should get a pen, but I'm not even sure that would help because I'm not very good at handwriting. Anyway, can we zoom a little more maybe? Oops, too much. Okay, so there's 100 and 200, no in between, of course. Okay, great. So a server RPC is basically some code that you can, from a client, you can make a call that the Unity netcode makes sure only runs on the host, and you have to do that for certain things because you cannot just do everything as a client. Now it becomes very technical. Anyway, I needed to do some server RPCs from the core, and turns out that's apparently not possible. I couldn't figure out at least a way. So I spent kind of a week on and off trying to research how to make the core included in whatever the network manager in netcode look into to find RPC calls so it could be registered so it would work. Couldn't find it. Couldn't make it work. Okay, so what could I do then? Can I make a new? Can I open a new one? Just want to keep this. Okay, I can't do that. So let me open up a new one. So can I copy? Can I do like that? Can I then draw? Nah. Okay. No, damn it. We just draw on top of this. Okay. Okay, maybe I should have prepared a little more here. I can just Control C back. Okay, so make a mental picture of this. So I tried to make that happen. Couldn't work. So then I was thinking, okay, what can I do then? And what I can do instead of this over here, having the core being an assembly, I can export the source files for the core. And actually, when I look through it, it's not like the core have any. It have some components, but it's not like something I don't want to share. The magic is in the game. The core is fairly basic in many cases, so it's okay to share that. So what I thought of, okay, because I figured out that the server RPCs can only be called from in the game. So I changed so that I did some tests to check this, make sure that this worked before I actually did it, and turns out it worked. So I moved along with that. So now I'm exporting the core as files and some assembly definitions, and then that is included in the mod tools. So C# wise, this is basically the same. These are just, you know, this was put in an assembly and these are just files. In normal .NET wise, this is there's not a big difference, because this one is also actually compiled to an assembly via the assembly definitions. So it actually end up being the same assembly with the same name. It just came via an assembly definition and was built by Unity. Anyway, it works for Unity this way with these RPC calls, so that's good, and that makes something other work. But the problem is with Unity, and this is where it becomes really, really nice, or not, is that when you do this, so let's say up here we have a class called rocket behavior, blah 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 behavior. So that is a component. If I move this component down here and export it via this one, it, again, as I said, it's called the same, it's the same namespace, it's basically ending up in the same assembly. But in Unity, we work with files with metadata and some weird stuff. So what happens is that, and let me just check you some, I can show you something. So this is my, let me do something here. Just a second. And then I do like this, and I do like this, and do like this. Okay, so I can actually show you here. So now this needs to, it needs to reopen. I just changed something over on I just rolled back some pending changes, doesn't matter. So remember that I want to take one component from the old core to the new core in the new mod tools that is not existing yet, because it's only on my stuff that this is going on right now. It's just to explain the road here and why it took me so long. So, and you will be disappointed at the end, because it will turn out that everything looks and feels the same. Now I can just do more stuff in the core, and that makes I can move forward. Anyway, so this is you can see here, this is my mod sample project, and if we look in the package here, it's using the latest mod tools from my local machine, but it's from it's basically the same that you could get from GitHub, but it's pointing to my local machine, because in a moment I will switch this mod tool to the new one, and then it will update to the latest version, and you will see what happens. Okay, so this one is built just like Amnesty's projects and all Guanaco's project, Dan's project, every mod project, modders Unity project will look like this. You know, you have kind of a firecracker, cake, whatever, blah blah blah. And the components we talked about before, this one, rocket behavior, was a bad example, because now I'm showing you this one. Let me find a rocket here. So this one here is the rocket behavior, and if I click on it, we can see, we can blah 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 up here. If I click it, I can see it goes over here to the rocket behavior here, which is located under the fireworks MANIA core. And as you can see here, it's an assembly, and everybody's happy. It works, and it has been working so fine. Great. So now I made the change. Now I did the change in the game by going away from the assembly core to the new source core, whatever, the new core. And now we pretend that I have actually done that, but now we change. I'm basically just changing the mod tools that this one is pointing to the new version. So this means that over here, let me see. So now when I go back here, it will update to the latest version of the mod tools. It's in a weird way, because it's on my local machine, blah blah blah. But it will be the same. It would behave the same if you were updating your mod project. So keep in mind here, rocket behavior, erasable behavior, place sound on impact behavior. Great, my mod is great. Woo, cool. So now we upgrade to the latest version, where we switched all of this around. And now when you click on the rocket over here, you will see this. Missing script, missing script, missing script, missing script, every freaking missing script. And right now, nothing will work. Because all stuff here is broken. Okay? Even though the namespace and the classes are the same, everything is the same, it's a new file, so Unity sees it as a new thing. So, I cannot do this to the modders because I'm pretty sure people don't want to rebuild everything. So I have to do something to make it upgradable. And this is what took so long this weekend. And to figure this out took a lot longer. But the thing is that if we open up, I don't want to do that now, but if we open up a prefab like this, we can actually do that. Just so we can show how insane this is. Okay, so let me open up the, let's say the rocket prefab here. So, just so you understand how crazy it is. Okay, so this is the rocket prefab. This is a Unity prefab. It's text because I set Unity to save it as text. And in here somewhere, we have something called script. Script. Yes, here. We have multiple. So this is one mono behavior. Can I do like this? Maybe I should just zoom. That's better, maybe. So in here we have a script, we have a file reference and a grid and a type. I have no idea what this means, except that this most likely points to a file. This is some kind of unique ID and this is some kind of type of script. I don't know. But you can see there's a mono behavior here. So we have a M script here, we have an M script down here, and so on and so on. There's one of these for all the components that is added to this rocket, for instance, this prefab that we have down here. So, to fix this problem, I just have to make a tool, and I can also show you briefly some of that. Legacy, what is it called? Legacy wrapping tool. So, this is a little mapping I made manually, saying that this M script line in a given prefab file is replacing this one, and this one I didn't have to put in this one. It's just easier for me, it's just easier because I could do some debug logging saying what was replaced, because the problem is you cannot see what is replaced, and you cannot, there's no way, as far as I know, to find these numbers programmatically via code up front and do this thing. So I put in the name here, and then whatever the new one is done is called. And the reason the way I've found all of these is by having a prefab in Unity, putting on the old script, see the value, save that, upgrade to the new one, take the new one, and then put it in here. So I have this. Took a while. A little later I figured out a little easier way to do it, but it still took a while. So with this mapping in place, put in a method that is running in Unity. I can go back to my mod Unity project, go to the mod tools, go to utilities, and remap legacy core scripts. Then it runs, and now you see it's first of all doing this, replacing, we can see replacing a missing script particle system observer in yada yada yada, this prefab, blah blah blah. And now you can see rocket, raceable component, save entity, and the place sound on impact behavior. And you will also see that it contains all the same things that it had before. So now my mod has been upgraded to the new mod tools. Again, this is not a tutorial, I'm just showing and explaining how I got here. I will do a video once this is tested and I've tried a little more, and I've actually also tried it on Amnesty, your old I have a copy of that thing you put out with all the mods before you took it away, and I tried upgrading that, and it also actually worked. It took a little longer to run than this one because there's a lot more prefabs, but it actually worked with a little. I had to delete some old references from the old mod tools and then a new one, but it seems to be working. So and it's a very big project, so if it works on that, I think it will work for most people. It's not optimized or anything, so you will get, you know, a loading thing here, but hopefully it's something you have to do once and then not anymore, because now it's upgraded and now I can actually build the mod tools or build the mod if I wanted to. So So this was the short version of what I did to make the core get into the game. So yeah, that's why. But it all comes with some good, because I just realized that, and now we get to the exciting part. Because of, okay, now I closed that drawing. Okay, because I named the assembly, I think that's why at least. Well, you just saw me do this this remapping of the components in Unity, and I thought, and it still might be the case, but I have recently figured something out that I will try out today, hopefully, that might solve something for old mods. So you could see with this, you know, if you have a mod today, you would have to upgrade to the latest mod tools, run this method, and then rebuild the script. And you also have to add some network component, but I might do a helper method for that too. Just haven't done that yet. Anyway, fairly easy to upgrade your mod. You have to do these steps, rebuild, and then republish on mod.io. Okay, fair enough. Then it's multiplayer enabled. But wouldn't it be cool if I could do something so old mod just worked in multiplayer? At least I couldn't help not try that out. Not every mod will work, but if I could just at least get all the mods that use basic core tool, mod tool components, normal cakes, normal rockets, all this standard stuff. If I could just make all of them work out of the box, would be very cool. So I've looked into how this NGO work and how I could do it and figured out a way to do it. I didn't think this would work until I did some testing and then realized that because I have called the new, I think that's why at least, the new call. Oh, we have a new subscriber. Yo Gaming, thank you for subscribing. Because I've called the assembly the same, I have the same namespace in the core, the same class name, everything is basically the same, just moved. Then the magic of umod that I'm using to make the mods and to load in the mods into the game and make it something that I can use in Unity, that is using the assembly name and the namespace and class name to do that mapping, it seems. So it actually looks like I can get existing mods to work. So I did something, and let me open up the parallel sync here. So what I did was that, and right now it's very simple, and we will look into it in a moment. When I read in and load mods, I just added a new method called try and add network component, network object. The thing is that for a prefab or game object to be able to work in multiplayer, it have to have a network object. That is kind of what makes it network enabled. Then that prefab, if it's something you need to spawn, that prefab has to be in a list on the network manager. It has to be in a list of prefabs, so that when one client says, I want to spawn this, then all the other ones know, okay, it's this in this list, I need to spawn this at this position. So it's so that they can spawn the same things. And also you want to have typically a network transform, client network transform, so you can also have the position and the rotation of that object, and some rigid body stuff. Anyway, it's some small components, easy to add, very easy to do, at least when somebody else wrote the network behavior that does the magic underneath for doing other stuff. Anyway, so I was thinking, why can't I just, when I load in a mod and I found something that I need, I find a mod with prefabs, why can't I just, just check if they already have a network object? If they don't have that, just add it, add the client, that's what puts the position, this is what makes the physics work, and this is the network object. So why can't I just add these to all the prefab dynamically that I'm loading in? And then at some other place in the code, add them to that list I was talking about. So I did a test on that, and I will just show you how that went. So I have downloaded, where is the other? There it is, okay. So, let's see. Okay, to the left, okay, I haven't tried it in Unity. I tried it in a build, because there's also something with doing this kind of thing in Unity and doing it in a build, there's a difference. Anyway, let's see if it works. It works in the build at least. It partially works, and I will tell you why it doesn't work. So, to the left here we have the host, and I've taken one of Amnesty's, I can't remember the name. I took some winter collection or whatever. Some of the mods that already exist in the mod.io. And I downloaded that and installed that on both the client and the server. So to the left is the host or the server, and to the right over here is the client. So if I go in here and take this one, lava rain, and do like this, spawn it, you can see it's spawned here on the client, and you can see it's also spawned here on the server. So if you go a little away, we can also see that working. There's there might be sound if it's from a mod here. Perfect. Okay. So that's pretty cool. So this is actually an existing mod that I just multiplayer enabled dynamically by reading it in. But, so what's the catch? Why doesn't it work? Well, as you might saw, here, yeah, blah 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 blah. Duplicated has, you can see here, it says this prefab have duplicated global object ID hash, some ID, which is the same apparently for all of them, removing enter from list. And this happens when it tries to add these dynamic prefabs to the list of prefabs to be able to spawn. And that's why, because the first one gets this ID and gets added, that's why the first one I just showed worked. Then the next one have the same idea, and it says, okay, this one already exists, so let's skip that. And then it's out. And it does that for the rest of them. So that's why it's only working with one of them right now. And then you would think, well, why is that? Why don't they have a new global ID? Because that's the obvious question. Well, it's this global object ID hash. When you joined this live stream, you didn't know or expect that you would know so much about multiplayer, right? Then you do now. And NGO for netcode for game objects, specifically. Anyway, so this is the field that they are talking about. This one needs to have a unique value to get added to that list. And if you know a little about Unity, you know that this means that this code is only running in the editor. And if we look at the code, we can see that it's not running if the editor is playing. That's what I just did. It's blah 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 blah, and not something else. And down here, it's actually setting this global ID hash and this is happening on the onValidate method. And onValidate is something that Unity calls on components added to a game object in the editor. But as you just saw, I just added it runtime. So this didn't work, it didn't run. So it didn't get any global object ID hash. And then next thing you think is then just set something. I can set some unique because all the entities in my mods, I at least ask him. There's other things that will break if your mod item doesn't have a unique entity ID. There will be other issues for your mod. So I can kind of rely on that entity ID being unique. So I could use that to generate a unique global hash ID, as long as I can do it in a way so it's the same on both the client and the host or the server. So why don't we just set this? Well, we don't, because it's internal, and that means it's only accessible from within this library, this netcode library. I'm not in there, so I can't set it. There's no method to set this. There's no property. I can't do a new class from the game object because it's sealed, so I can't inherit and have my own network object. So I can't fix this. Or can I? And now we get to the point that I haven't tried. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. I'm not replying right now because I have so much I want to try here. Show. So before doing this live stream, I got the idea. What if I could, because this is a pretty controlled thing to do. I know specific right now I'm doing it on everything, but in the future I could do something so that I only try to add this dynamic. Let me zoom a little so you can see it better. Wow, it's big on my screen now, but anyway, I could do something so I'm only doing this on mods from previous old mods that wasn't built with the latest version. So I do this less and less, over time. When people update their mods, this will kind of be phased out. Anyway, so how can I do this? I got an idea. What if I can? And I don't know if this will work. What if I could use reflection, which is some dynamic stuff, so I can actually maybe access this, maybe. And I'm gonna try that now. And I don't know if it works, if it will work. So let me check. I cannot remember this. Okay, here it is. So I have to new up that, then I have to get some fields, so my type, blah blah blah. Okay, let's see. I don't know. Let's try. So we have this, and then we have. So that's the type. Oh, I maybe. System correction. Get field, and then I need to get the field. It's called this. And if I'm lucky, I can set it like this. It's a little crazy. Can I set internal? No. Non-public instance. I'm not exactly sure what these mean specifically. I guess it needs to be a non-public field, and it needs to be an instance one and not a static one. And then I can maybe set it to here. So I can maybe do like that, and then I can say my game object here. Whoops. Okay, it's way too big for me here. I need to make it a little smaller. So, and this is not beautiful coded, but we just want to try it out. So here we can actually go in, and then we can use this method here. And then we can set this. Can we? Oh, damn it. Cannot access internal class here. Oh, damn it. Damn it. Is it some... But okay, it doesn't have to be... It doesn't have to be that. Can I just do some kind of... I do just like a... So I have the inventory here, and it have an entity. No, it have an ID. Yes. Get hash or something like that. Get hash code, maybe. Maybe. So like this. I have no idea if this will work, but it's worth a shot. Let me just close some of this. We don't want to have that open. We don't want to have that open. So maybe now we have set that. I've set that ID. Again, it's a hacky thing, but to make old, if this is all I have to do to make old mod work, be pretty nice. Even though I said Konakonot will work at mods, but I had to a little. Ah, damn it. What was that? Failed to handle mod. Cannot be converted to type. Okay. Fair enough. Can we? Because this is it's a uint. So can we do like uint pass or something? Yeah, try pass this one. Can we do like that? Maybe. Apparently not. What does this say again? Takes a it takes a string. Okay, so we can just do like this. And I'm not so concerned about performance or anything here, because this is something that happens up, once when you load in the map, which take time anyway. So not a bigger concern. So let's check it out here. Oh, and DJ is looking at the mod tutorial. Cool. Ah, damn it. Still a problem. Okay, overflow exception. Too large and too small. So it would have to be, it cannot, the U, yeah, it's a positive number. U in 32. Yeah, it's only positive numbers. Damn it. Let me check. I don't know how to convert int to U into the safely or something like that. The problem is the problem is that maybe I can do like that. The problem is, but I'm not sure. The problem is that the uint is a positive number, I think, whereas the integer that the hash one generates can also be a negative number. Doesn't work. Yeah, cringe code. Yeah, it's not. I can clean it up a little by the naming of it, because this is not really nice names. But right now it's just a matter of testing how it works, and it clearly doesn't. Too small, too large. Damn it. Okay. C#, how to generate int 32 from string. Yes. Not convert, it should generate. Oh, I don't know how to do that. So any ideas? How do you generate a... The problem is the method that they are using. This one that they are using is... Some internal stuff. The netcode version. Let's see. It must be this string type. We could also take this. I have no idea what. Okay. Bytes. Okay. What if we just, again, this is not pretty. This is not good. I'm just trying this out. I'm not sure I can do this. I have no idea. So what if we say mod manager? Oops. I'm just interested in knowing if this will work or not. Then I can always make it pretty and can make, a little more safe and a little more solid. So now I'm basically just stealing that code here. Just to see if it works. Because of course I have to do it in some proper way. Shabam, boom. Can I do that? No, I can't. Unsafe. Ugh. In safe context. Okay, I can maybe... I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing. So please let me know if you know how to ask ChatGPT. Yeah, it's possible. But is this... They're all in here. Why didn't I just take this? Shabam. Boom. Okay. I'll ask ChatGPT. Let me see if I have some login for this. Okay. How to generate a to hash in C# from a string. Let's see. Hash and convert it to... Yeah, but how do I convert? Bit, this one. Okay. Yeah, okay. This was the one I was missing. Needs to flip it too. But anyway, bigging. This is now my code. Boom. Easy. Let's see. Anyway, you didn't see that. I'm not gonna write that because if it just sends me a zip with the game made to multiplayer and everything works, I cannot have it. It cannot work that way. Okay, so let's try this one. We are pushing the limits. As Rob Lang said when I talked with him about this issue, it's an edge case. Yeah, I know, I'm pushing it with multiplayer, mod support, blah blah blah, old mods, legacy mods that I want to be able to make work. But it's just like, you know, putting this effort in and actually have it work would I think it works. I think it works. I didn't know if you saw it, but there was no errors. Let me turn up the volume a bit. Ah, it's all up. Okay. Okay. There's no in-game sound. Is turned off in Unity because I wanted to start up quickly. But I think Amnesty have custom sound, so I think we can hear sounds. Let's see. Okay, so lava rain. Let's take some. This one. Shark cake. Boom. Blau. Boom. Too easy. Too easy. Too easy. Oops. Oh my god, it's too easy. Will it blend? Will it work? And we agree it's the same, right? We see the same here? Yep. Boom. And these two here? Yep, we see the same. Oh my freaking. Too easy. Remember, in this Unity version, there is a delay of 100 milliseconds on purpose put in as a debug thing, so I can see how the game runs with a little lag. But as you can see, it syncs up pretty well. Easy. Easy. Okay, let's try something more. Let's just go nuts here. The sound might be a little weird because I think there's sound in both of them. Let's do this one. So now we only have sound from the client on the right. Too easy. Too easy. Oh, see, one of them tipped over, and it actually tipped over in both. Okay, it's only I only made the cake work right now, so the others won't work. But all cakes now should work. Let's try something. Let's go and find something else. Yeah, we have to go out because we can't. Now let's try something before we do that. See, this is now you can see it's. I can't see it, of course, but I'm clicking a lot here, and it's a little delayed before they show up. But that's because there's this 100 millisecond that I put in the editor to be able to see when stuff is not. Why was it? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it's easier for me to troubleshoot and see where there is where there is lag and how it will behave. So let's try and give this a go. Let's see. See if you made it correctly, Amnesty, so it ignites the other ones. Maybe it's too small. and it's not close enough, I think. Yeah, it will be a while. Even though it looks like it works, there's tons of things to do. But you can see progress. Ah, okay, you made them so they don't ignite each other. Okay. Let me help you then, because I know that I have one of my cakes that also works. So let's do like this. But my cake won't have any sound because it used the built-in sound, so yeah. Of course, a little laggy when I'm live streaming and recording and 2 Unity edits are running at the same time. Let's run through to the other client. He's over there. If you look at the left side, you can see me coming through the... Here it is. Woohoo! Oh, there was something that was not correct. There was some blast to the left and not to the right, but anyway. Okay. Let's just, for the fun of it, let's try, because right now the blah blah blah, the mod.io in this version is hooked up to something else. So let's try, what should we try? Something that is not Amnesty, and have to be a cake. It's all Amnesty. Who made this? Super Droozle. We'll give that a try. Most likely the sound doesn't work, but let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. And let me just copy in. I'm just basically copying extracting the mod and putting it into the mod folder, and there we go. Oh, what was the name? King something? Yeah, King something. Oh, the Hell Yeah mod. But does that have... does that have... Yeah, but that don't have... it doesn't have... I think... Does it have cakes? Do we have cakes? Yeah, you have these ones. It have to be cakes because that won't work. Okay, let's take the Hell mod into. I don't know if the properties in there will work. Oh, they're not properties, but the props. I don't know. Let's see. Let's try it. So you just saw me get this working. I'm not cheating. I haven't tried this before. I got the reflection idea right before I started the live stream. So this is, oh, all prefabs must be registered. Okay. Yeah, okay. I think it's because you might have some startup prefabs that I haven't. No, that can't. Yeah. Yeah, it might be something like, because they are not added right now to the let's see. So I typically want to test on the client, because the most thing works for the host to the left. So I normally test here. So I need something that is a cake. So we can take the little boy. Boom, little boy. Let's go away. And again, if it uses the built-in sounds, we won't. Yeah, it uses the built-in sound, but that's fine. It's just, that's the reason there's no sound. It's because I'm not loading the sounds in Unity to make it easier to, faster to load. So that worked. Great. Oh, this one, can't play that one right now. So, wasn't this Brocade King Blue? Wasn't that the... So, Monaco is Hell yeah mod. Amnesty, and we have tried all amnesties. Where is author? Oh, of course, the one that forgot to put in the author in the mod is of course Super Drusel, of course. So the King Brocade Blue, yeah, okay, it is this one. And it of course doesn't work. I don't know if it works in the normal game, but at least there's something wrong. It's not too... I'm just teasing Super Drusel, even though it's not here. I think... I don't know why it's not working. It's getting... Okay, so it's not all old mods that works. What about this one? Nah, it doesn't work either. Doesn't work either. This one works. Oh, it... Ah, okay. On the client it didn't spawn. But it did spawn on the server. But that's a classic problem of... and that's what I'm saying, that most things work on the server, but not on the client. So let's click this one up. There's another issue here. That's the erasable behavior I have to look into. Anyway, that's another problem. Anyway, okay. But it's weird that maybe they are built with... I cannot see why they shouldn't be working. Must be this one. No. Anyway. Blah 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 blah. Okay. At least we have some of the old mods working. But I will do some. I will make it a little better. It was just a test to see if I could make it work, and it turns out I actually could, to some extent. Pretty nice. Crack attack. Let's see. Yeah, your mods work too. Crack attack. Let's see if we... we already got an object reference, I think, in the bottom there. Let's see if it can. No. Yeah, it worked. Let's see. The reason there's no sound again is because I'm not loading him in the editor. Yeah, pretty okay synced. Perfect. Okay, pretty perfect. Okay, so yeah, that was actually, it's been an hour now. I think it's fine. So this was really nice. It was a nice little live stream. I explained the problem and how I fixed it. And then we tried out the idea of having a hack to load and make existing mods work in multiplayer. It's very early because the game is not at all working in multiplayer. Only some parts of it, but you have to start somewhere. And but because this core is kind of a core part of the game, it's important that it works. It's important that these base components that I have already also works. And right now I have only made the cake, as I said, so that's the only one that is working. But the same concepts should apply to rockets and all the other preloaded tubes and all that. So it should work for all of them, really. So that's pretty nice. A little hacky with that reflection thing, but I think it's fair enough to give it a try. So I tried on all mods that are built, because I can see on a mod which mod tool version it's built with. So if it's built with one prior to the new one with the new core, I can try and do this just as an attempt to load the mod, and then people can try it out. And if it doesn't work, they'll just uninstall it. Which also makes it more important than ever that I do something about the UI and what data I save in the game at runtime, because it would be nice to know. It's a problem that we have had all from the beginning of the mod tools, but something that becomes more and more important is that you can see on an item in the inventory which mod it's coming from. Because that's, if you have 10 mods installed, you have 50 different pieces of fireworks and props and all that, and you have no idea, you can't remember which one comes from which. So it would be nice to know, actually, so that you can uninstall these mods. But anyway, it has nothing to do with multiplayer, really. It's just like, I'm just seeing it being more and more important to have more data like that. Sure. Is there a way to unsubscribe from all mods really fast? Actually, there is. Let's end off on that little tip. Let me see. I have a build here. So let me show you something. So there is actually a fast way of doing it. So if you are here in the game, 1 minute YouTube, one way you can do it is that you can hit, when you are out here, you need to get to the folder for the game where the mods are located. And if you go in here, hit F1 to get in here, and then type fm-open, and it gets you can hit tab to kind of autocomplete that. It says fm open data folder, and if you do that and hit enter, if you are in the game, damn it, come on, it will open up the data folder here. And in here you can just, there is one called, I have a mod test here because I'm testing stuff, but if you just type if you just delete the mod.io folder, then you are good to go. Then just delete that, and I maybe restart the game to be safe, but yeah, that's it. So it's pretty easy actually to do, but it would be nice to have a button in the game that could go in and unsubscribe from everything, or disable everything, or whatever. But anyway, you can delete that folder, and that should be good. Anyway, that was it. I'm out for now. Let me check something. Nice little productive live stream. see you in the next one. I'll post some more shorts and small videos of these multiplayer tests that we have done. So yeah, that's it for today. Again, yeah, I'm out. Let's find the button. Here it is, end stream. That's here. Still with Christmas theme because I'm too lazy to change it. I don't have time. But very soon it will, you know, in a couple of months it will be relevant again. So maybe I should just leave it. Yeah, see you guys.